it's NursingWithNiarah and I'm back with another video, and I'm super excited. I know I've been gone for a really long time. I really just wanted to take the time to take a break and just relax. First semester was a whirlwind, and I'm really proud of myself for how well I did and how I just kept pushing on and persevered. So this video, I'm pretty much going to be talking about my experience first semester and some tips and tricks on how to be successful the first semester of nursing school. So let's get to it. I just want to apologize real quick for the lighting. It's really difficult filming in the middle of the day, trying to figure out lighting, and I'm a newbie and I'm using a different camera, so this is all new to me, but I thank y'all for supporting me and just bear with me. So now into my first semester reflection. So I think the first couple weeks were the hardest for me, just because I was adjusting. I came from an HBCU and now going into a PWI was very different for me. I think the first 2 weeks were really hard for me, just because I was moving on from Spelman and going to this big new institution, and I just really miss the culture at Spelman, and it's completely different here at Hopkins. So I will say the rigor of Spelman did prepare me for this program, and the tools that I learned there made it very easy for me to be successful here. So I think that was really beneficial, but I do miss, being in a space where I never experienced racism. I think that, is one big thing. But I do still love Hopkins, and even the small little hurdles that, I had to face, and, some situations that just were horrible, I still am so happy I chose Hopkins for nursing school, and I really think that it's the best place for me to be. So moving on to some of the things that I did this semester that really helped me. I am a planner. I'm very type A. And if you listen to my podcast, Nursing Your Soul, I do it with my friend, Urshana. She's also a nursing student. They really talk about how we are the type of people who need to stay organized to be successful. And I really feel like nursing school, you have to be so organized. So for me, I made a master schedule, and I did that again for this upcoming semester, which is in about a week and a half. But I did that again, and that's what really helped me. In nursing school, you feel like there's not enough hours in the day, literally. And the first couple of weeks I was like, how am I going to do this? But once I sat down and I made a master schedule, I was fine. So do what works best for you. For me, it was planning out my day by the hour. Every hour I had it planned. I wake up at this time, go to the gym at this time, I study for this, I have this class here, I'm gonna take a 15-minute break here, I'm gonna study this class here. And that's what really helped me. And so for the first couple of weeks I followed that to a T, and then once I was starting to get more comfortable, I kind of veered from it. But I still set my alarm where I'm waking up every day at 6 a.m. and I just made nursing school kind of a 9 to 5, and that's what really helped me. Just going back to scheduling, I feel like writing down in your planner kind of all revolves around that. So as soon as I got my syllabi, I wrote down every single due date in my planner, and for me, I know that I cannot procrastinate or I will be stressed out, okay? I will be crying, I'll be stressed, and it will be a mess. So for me, I do the due dates. When I write down the due dates in my planner, I have everything due 3 to 5 days before the actual due date. So when I'm looking at my planner, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna knock out these assignments. And when I complete the assignments, and then they mentioned it in class, I'm like, oh girl, you already did that. Tap on the back, great job. Or I'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm stressed, I don't have enough time. And then I look and I'm like, oh, okay, this is the actual due date of the assignment, I can push this back a couple days. And I think that's super beneficial because you're never going to be stressed because you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't have to this assignment, I forgot about this assignment, because you literally have that 3 to 5 day buffer of when it's due. And I think just planning everything down, writing when you have exams, I would always put it in my planner a week before I have my exam. I would write exam next week so I could take a mental note. For patho, 2 weeks before the exam, I would start studying because it's just so much information. Nursing school is not a thing where you can just sit down and be like, okay, I'm gonna cram the night before the exam. No ma'am, you will not do well. Even if you have like a photographic memory, or like, you know, you could just pick up things really good and you're a good crammer, that is not beneficial, because at the end of this, we have to take the NCLEX, and you cramming, you're gonna forget. Like, point blank period, you're gonna forget. So it's better if you just take the time and study, because these things are coming up over and over again. Okay, y'all, I have talking points, so that's why I'm gonna be looking at my phone. But the next thing I wanna talk about is clinical. So I really enjoyed clinical. The only thing for me is I had like the night shift, so my clinical hours were 1 to 7. It's shorter than it typically is because of the pandemic, but we're just so grateful that we were able to still be in the hospital. So 1 to 7 is fine. But for me, it was just hard because, you know, when you're technically like night shift, everything is done. So like my friends who had clinical in the morning, it was great for them because, you know, they were doing baths, they were doing well, they weren't giving out meds, but like they got to see meds being done. They were doing like a lot more. And, you know, by the time we came in, the patients have already eaten, they've already gotten their meds in the morning, they've already gotten their baths for the day. Like pretty much everything is done. So it kind of sucks like not having a lot to do, but I still valued my experience because my clinical instructor was the best. She definitely made sure that we were seeing things, and she helped us a lot. We got to practice our head to toes a lot, and I think that was really great. And unfortunately, again, I think everybody has 1 to 7 again, but again, I have 1 to 7, and I'm just like, but at least I'm at a different hospital. I did like my hospital that I was at. It was 40 minutes away, which was like horrible. This time the hospital that I'm at is closer, so I can just walk, so I'm super happy about that. I don't know, I just hope that I get to see more this time and do more. But you know, I'm just grateful for that opportunity to still be in the hospital, because I know a lot of nursing programs were not having students in the hospital, and that was almost us. So I'm just grateful for that. So closing up this video, I'm just gonna talk about like my reflection of the whole semester. I love labs. I met some great people, and I learned so much. I think for me, I was a little bit too hard on myself at times. And like when I think about me taking 18 credits last semester in an accelerated nursing program, it's graduate, and it's during a pandemic, like I really did that. And I really need to give myself more credit than I do. And I think a lot of nursing students get in this like competitive like bubble where they're like, okay, like I need to be the best of the best. This person has gotten this grade. This person got this grade. No. Think about yourself. Focus on yourself. And that's what really helped me. I do not share grades, like at all. So people will be like, oh, what'd you get? I got this, I got that, I got that. And I'll just be like, I did well. And I think that's super important, because it's nobody's business what grades you got. If you pass, girl, you pass. And people have different levels of what's good for them and what's not good for them. An A might just be great for them. A B might be like, oh, I did horrible. And so, you know, just comparing grades is just not beneficial at all. And I think the only person I really would tell like, oh, I got this on the exam, I got this score to, would be Vershana, because, you know, we've started this whole like nursing school process together. And you've seen her in a couple of my other videos, and you know, we help each other through a lot. So that's the only person I would really tell my grades to. We're not in the same program, and even if we were in the same program, I feel like I would still say like, I don't know, it's just the relationship we have, and we're not competitive with each other. We support each other. So I think that, you know, is a key thing. If you want to tell your grades to people, you can, but to me, it just doesn't seem beneficial. Even like after the exam, once the exam is done, I do not sit and Google questions or like look through my notes. Did I get this right? Did I get this right? Because it's out of your hands. It's done, you know? So there's no point sitting there like stressing yourself out. And I mean, some of our professors send out like what was the average grade on the exam and stuff like that. And I just don't, like, sometimes I pay attention to it, sometimes I don't, but it's just putting excess pressure on yourself. So I would say just, just mind your business. I hate to say mind your business, but you know what I'm saying? Like, just focus on you. Because at the end of the day, like, hearing other people's grades and comparing them to how you did is not going to be beneficial. For me, like, I'm not a competitive person, and I love when the whole team is doing well. So as long as everyone passed, we're good. And if you didn't pass, it's okay. We're gonna work to make you be successful. And I feel like that's what it's really about. So I'm super happy with how I did this semester. I met amazing people. I joined a lot of amazing organizations, and I'm so excited for next semester. This year, I really want to get healthy, and you know, I've been open and honest with you guys about me being on this fitness journey and just not necessarily trying to be skinty, okay, but you know, just being healthy overall. And I feel like I've prepared myself well to be successful. So you know, that is budgeted into my master's schedule. I just, you know, I'm very proud of myself. I was voted by my peers to be on Senate, and I'm doing a couple other great things. And you know, I just think about my beginning journey at Spelman and how, you know, I wouldn't apply for anything because I was just so nervous. And so when I came to Hopkins, I said, I am going to apply for everything I want to apply for. And if it's meant for me, it's meant for me. And yes, I've gotten some no's, but I've gotten a lot of yeses. And I think that's just my new philosophy now. I'm not gonna, you know, censor myself. I'm not gonna, you know, make it a no before I even have the opportunity. So thank you for watching, and I hope this video was helpful. Look out for my new videos, and see you next time.